Hi everyone, and welcome to the General Hospital recap for November 21st. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps, and also be a beauty and hit that bell down below so you get notified every time we upload a new recap. Alright, let's get right to it. At Sam's place, Alexis comes over. Sam and Jason, poor Charles Jason, are dealing with a media emergency. There is a news conference that wants to break into regular programming, and apparently it has to do with Liv Jerome. And Jason wants to run the piece and break into regular programming, which I just find the whole thing super ironic, because like, if there's one thing that has been an issue with General Hospital and their network, it's been breaking into regular programming. Jason wants to run the piece because it's newsworthy and their personal views on Liv Jerome shouldn't dictate what's on TV. Imagine that. Poor Charles Jason is going to go deal with this and he'll be back. Sam tells Alexis poor Charles Jason's plan to build Aurora up to something that can't be taken from him. Sam picked up pies for Thanksgiving. Molly is worried about impressing Stella. Alexis asks if Sam knows anything more about Patient 6, which we have not heard that term in a few weeks. Alexis asks what she thinks of this whole situation. Sam says that she loves her husband, and what does it mean for her family if this guy, the real Jason, and Sam just doesn't want to betray her husband. That's where her mind's at, and that's where her priorities are right now. Sam's going to focus on Aurora. She turns on the TV to watch the Olivia Jerome news, and that news conference is something that we're going to talk little by little in each segment because we get little snippets of it each time. So Nora Buchanan is reading a statement from Olivia about the events pertaining to Julian Jerome. She goes into more detail about the coercion, the threats, the power, all of it, and basically exonerates Julian of any wrongdoing, and that she threatened to hurt his family and she had the resources and she had already reached out and did some of that. This is being forwarded to the district attorney of Port Charles, and yeah, it's a big deal. Sam doesn't know how she feels about this. She can never go back because of what Julian did to Alexis. Also, there's plenty of crimes that he hasn't paid for. And Alexis just doesn't want to ruin the stay, but Sam can see that this isn't a total surprise to her. At Sunny's, Robin comes over to Sunny's to say hi. She's talking to Carly about how she saw Jason last night at the bridge, and there's absolutely no doubt in her mind that he's the real Jason, and Carly says yes, and that means we made a terrible mistake. Robin says that there was evidence to back Carly up and to back her up, and Robin tells her her experience at the bridge talking with Jason about these memories and everything. Michael, Sunny, and Steve, Bert, and Jason are on the porch. Steve, Bert, and Jason is thankful to be home. Sunny says it looks like Klein's boss disappeared. Steve, Bert, and Jason thinks that they're just laying low. Then they all come inside. Robin is invited to stay, but she says that Anna is hosting. Robin and Steve, Bert, and Jason are alone. Robin can tell him being away from Stan and Danny is really hard for him, and he's like, yeah, 5 years is a long time, and he can't blame Sam for moving on. And Robin's like, yeah, but like, she didn't. Steve, Bert, and Jason doesn't want to put Sam in the middle of all of this, and poor Charles Jason is pushing back. Robin says that Sam probably wishes that she was like Sunny and Carly, that Sunny and Carly can just embrace him and believe in him, and Sam can't do that without hurting her husband, but it doesn't change how she feels. Hi, Halloween cat. And Robin gets it more than anyone. She says that Patrick struggled with it. She found her way back after being held captive, and Patrick was literally about to marry someone else. And Patrick needed some time and space as well, and maybe Sam needs space too. Right, Jakey? My beautiful Jake. Steve, Bert, and Jason asked Michael what Morgan was like. Michael says that there were a lot of ups and downs, and he personally feels horrible because he wasn't always nice to him, and he kind of had this mentality of like, why me? Why do I have to take care of everyone? And Steve, Bert, and Jason says because they need you. Like, in a way, Michael kind of took Jason's place there as the family emotional support. And Steve, Bert, and Jason wishes he had been there, and Michael does too. Carly tells Sunny she wants Michael to talk to Jason about the breakup. And I'm like, Carly, they're broken up, be happy, okay? Like, you did it. They're broken up. You don't have to micromanage the breakup too. Sonny basically kind of says the same thing. Sonny's like, I told you that Michael was eventually going to see her for who she was. And Carly's like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, what now? And she's so thankful for what she has and what she got back. They come in and Sonny puts the TV on. It's the Olivia Jerome statement, and she's saying Julian was never Olivia's willing accomplice. He was forced to cooperate, and Sonny thinks that maybe Alexis could have had a hand in this. Michael tells Steve, Bert, and Jason about the kidney donation from Nell. Carly's stepfather is Nell's father, and Nell was fed lies about Carly and did horrible things to the family, but she was sorry when she found out they were lies, and she wished she had never done those things. Michael forgave her, but she kept lying and keeping secrets, and she couldn't stop, so he ended things. Like, he gets that she had a hard life, but, like, enough's enough. And you know what? Like, a lot of people have had a hard life and aren't compulsive liars. Michael says if Nell would have come to him and asked for space, they might have found a way back to each other. At Lisa Frank's, Franco got the whole family the buckle hats. Also, Aiden is like the same age as Jake now, so I mean, what's up with that? Franco is thankful for being welcomed into their family. Liz is thankful that they all have each other. The kids are thankful for Audrey and Hayden, and they miss Hayden. Jake is thankful that her and her dad are getting along better, which Franco just loved. There's a knock at the door, and it's poor Charles Jason. Jake is happy to see him. Franco isn't 100% happy. Everyone leaves the room. Poor Charles Jason feels hurt by Sonny and Carly, and they're saying he's always been different, but he was always a friend to them, so he's like, it's just, he's in so much pain, and all I want to do is hug him. Liz tells him that he can't stress out about things that aren't in his control. It'll do more harm than good. The situation is just, it's gonna happen like it's gonna happen. Answers will happen, and poor Charles Jason isn't sure, and she has faith that he'll find the answers he's looking for. Robin stops over, and it's immediately awkward because she makes it clear that she feels Steve, Bert, and Jason is Jason, and he is not. And I think, in a way, that's like the ultimate betrayal to poor Charles Jason, because he's like, I was with you at Creighton Clark. Like, your treatment and research saved me. They rescued each other from there. And Robin's like, yes, but you're not Jason. Robin thinks Helena convinced him he was Jason. He says that that's not possible. It's not that he remembers everything. He feels it. It's not just memory. It's emotion. And I'm like, I feel like that kind of feeds into a lot of the theories we've been having, where it's like he doesn't have the experience behind the memories, and now he's saying he does. And he's like, so none of that is real? And then those eyes, like those eyes, he's in so much pain, and like he just feels so hurt, and it's all in his eyes. And just honestly, a million shout outs to Billy Miller, because like that's next level. Like, that's absolutely next level. So how can she tell him it's not real? And she says, you and your brother are biological twins. He's a Quartermain and Scout's father. All the people he cares about still care about him, but that's not enough for him. He wants them to believe, and that's what hurts. Robin has to go. Franco comes back in the room, and Franco wants to tell him something, and poor Charles Jason doesn't want to hear it at first, but then he's like, what? And Franco says he knows what it's like for people to be telling you who you are. They think that they can dictate who you are based on your past. And he's like, you just don't worry about them. You know yourself. You know who you are. Don't give in without a fight. And Elizabeth overhears all of this. And it's almost like, I feel like he wants the Jasons to be so at each other's throats that they kind of like leave him alone. Maybe if it does reach a level that's too much, the other one will even leave poor Charles and won't be around Elizabeth. Like, definitely I don't feel there's any altruistic reasons behind what he's doing. At the gallery, Ava emails Dr. Zajac. She's read about his work and is interested. Please get in contact with her. Griffin comes in. He asks what's going on. She hasn't been returning his calls. And what Carly said really bothered her, and Griffin says that he's not going anywhere. Kiki's at work right now. Griffin's on call. He hasn't made plans. I'm sorry, you telling me he's not going over Anna's for Thanksgiving? She's hosting Thanksgiving. Robin's there. Matt and Felicia are there. Griffin's not going? Like, I know he's on call, but he's on call whether he goes to Anna's or whether he's here. Like, I'm angry. I'm a little bit angry right now. And he says he can't think of a better person to spend the day with than Ava. I can. Your family, Anna, like, now I'm livid. Now I'm livid. Like, I am livid. Like, I was watching this, and I was, like, deathly ill. And I was, like, livid. Like, I'm texting my mom, and I'm, like, I'm so mad right now. And she's like, oh, my goodness, what's wrong? Because, like, I'm sick. She's worried. And I'm, like, Griffin isn't going over Anna's for Thanksgiving. And she's like, what? And I'm like, exactly. She's like, well, he's not spending with Ava, right? And I'm like, yeah, he is. If I can, like, go back and find the text message thread, I'll put it right here, because it is honestly kind of absurd how personally offended I got by this. He brought them Thanksgiving subs, which sound delicious, but I'm still angry. He tells her to hang on to the part of herself that didn't care what people thought of her and just persevered. Ava and Griffin watch the Olivia Jerome live feed. Olivia Jerome says that she's of sound mind and she's clearing Julian. Julian shouldn't be held responsible. The statement is officially over. Griffin is bothered after what Olivia did to him and Julian did to Duke. Ava's like, yeah, you should be running. And I'm like, yeah, you should be running. You absolutely, like, go. I mean, Griffin is called to the ER, thank goodness. Ava is working on a secret project for the next few days, and he's like, see, you'll be back to yourself in no time, and she's counting on it. And now, end scene. Ava gets a call from Dr. Zajac. She'd like to see him for a consultation. Alexis says that she will be relieved if Julian is released from prison. Alexis says that she's a Cassadine. The violent world isn't out of the ordinary. Alexis and Julian's worlds are both toxic. They understand each other. Their ties are deeper than logic. Alexis will do her best to move on to the next chapter of her life, though. Franco is, like, pepping poor Charles Jason up. He remade himself. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Poor Charles Jason leaves. Elizabeth really likes that Franco reached out to Jason, and he's like, hey, he's important to you, so he's important to me. Seabert and Jason temporarily left Sunny's, and at J. Sam's there's a knock at the door, and it's Seabert and Jason. Ooh, I can't wait. So I'll see you in 2 seconds for another Drama Hospital. I hope you have a great 2 seconds. Okay, bye.